What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about why you are not getting any more book calls. You probably have been crushing it. You know, you probably launched a really good program. You probably had a coach, which if you did, good on you.
Great job.
You probably crushed it for months. Probably had 10, 20, 30K months.
Let's go.
5K, whatever it is, right? Maybe it was consistent. You hit your goals, but now things are stale. Crickets, and you're not getting any more calls. You're probably not getting good prospects. You're probably getting people on the phone that are maybe not legitimate, that are not serious, and so you're wondering what the heck is happening and where do I go now?
What do I do, coach?
What do I do?
What happened?
So Jason, open us up, man. How do we get started here? How do we approach this?
Great question and great topic. Coaches, let's get into it today, right? Let's talk real talk. This is a legitimate concern and it does happen. So we have a promotion or a launch, we have a new product, something happens, we drop, and it goes great. We've made some good money, we had some good traction, good results. Now it's 4, 5, 6 months later, it's a year later, and I just haven't had the same months the last couple of months. The last couple of weeks have been a little dry. What happened? What do I do? Well, first thing, do you have a plan for post-transaction? Like that would be my first question. What happened to the people that had signed up with you? What happened to the clients you did have that generated that revenue? If you don't have a plan for post-transaction, most likely they came through, got the offer, and then never heard from you or didn't purchase whatever the next layer in your funnel was. Yeah. We talk more about lifetime value. I won't dive too much into it today, but understanding what to do when a customer enrolls in the program, because this is where most of us stop, right? I got the transaction. Now I got to get another transaction. Marketing.
Right.
Well, don't forget fulfillment, right?
Yeah.
80% of your income comes from 20% of your clients, right?
Yeah.
It's easier to upsell an old client than to acquire a new client, right? What is your plan? If you don't have one, mark out a couple of steps like, okay, I've got somebody enrolled. Now what? Yeah. Your next step should be either onboarding or fulfillment, right? And then once it's fulfilled, what is the exit strategy? Yeah. Does that mean they're done? They never hear from you? Do they go on an email list? Do they go to a podcast? Are you on YouTube? Whatever it is, something needs to be mapped out.
And I want to expand on that.
Yeah, please do.
You saying that is so important because a lot of people and myself, it's easy to find yourself as you get a sale and now you get that hype. I got to get sales.
Yeah.
But then we do forget about that. A lot of times is you're forgetting to service the people that paid you.
And you're not alone.
Right.
This is not just fitness. This is industries wide.
And it's so important that you spend time concentrating on the people that are paying your bills.
That's right.
You're so focused on getting another client.
New client.
But maybe you should be thinking about, just as you're saying, retention and being able to upsell them. Sometimes it's not necessarily that you have to make a big move. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you actually may need to make a small move. But it's really just understanding, like, what is the experience? And it's reflecting on, like, the experience that your current clients are getting. Right. So if you're not doing, as you talk about exit strategies, if you're not doing surveys and you're not asking, people, how did you feel in the program? Mm-hmm. What did you like? What did you not like? Be totally transparent. If you're not getting feedback, it's really hard without that data to determine what a potential issue could be with your program, if there is an issue.
Real. As a coach, that's your number one analytic, right? It's the feedback.
Exactly.
So whether it's me physically being with you or having a touch point where you check in with me, that is exactly how I do my job. Mm-hmm. So having that information is critical.
It is.
Because it shows my plan.
Exactly.
Right?
It shows your plan.
It shows what my plan needs to be, I should say.
Exactly. And moving forward, like if I only have a 3-month program, it shows your plan. Like, for example, if you're like, okay, cool, I would love to upsell people, but it's a 3-month program. Cool. Well, then if you are seeing like they want more of you, but there's not really a need because they feel like they learn everything from you in 3 months, then you should think about making a program that's 6 months or a year. And being able to say, well, this is actually a 3-year program, but we can start you a year and see how you go from there. Because you want to keep on having momentum where people feel like, oh, I'm not done learning from Jason. Oh, shoot. Okay, it's not. There's actually more. Oh, this is the beginning. Oh, there's actually more.
That's a very important point because as coaches, sometimes we hit that point where like, oh, they're coming to the end of programming. I don't have another program. I don't have another offer. I don't know what else I can teach them. But if you're present, you could just ask them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, by the way, you're coming up to the end of your program. If we were going to go next steps, what would you be looking forward to? What would you want next? What's something we haven't done that you'd love to see in the next time? Yeah. One, you can assume the continued relationship. So it opens the door to let them tell you, oh, actually, I'm going out of town, or I need to stop programming, or oh, I'd love to see, mountain climbing or whatever. You can develop, even if you don't have it, being present, having the feedback, just being a leader as a coach. You can always develop it. What's commonplace for you could be revolutionary for them. I've said it before. You'll hear me say it a lot. You have so much in you, coach. Just like we talk about stories. A lot of coaches don't think I have a story, right? But you have a unique perspective. What you have, no one else has. So lean into that.
And then moving forward from there.
Come on.
Now it's being honest with yourself and your presence showing up, right? Every single day and being consistent. You're like, oh, maybe I am. Maybe, I have been consistent. I've been posting every day. But the truth is, you probably have become really boring and become really stale and just going through the motions. And people can feel that a mile away. If there's nothing exciting that you're doing and you're not being consistent in like the new challenge is coming up. Oh, I got a new free ebook. I got a new free this. Oh, I got a new this. And yes, that is time consuming, but that's what it takes.
There's a saying that says you're always working on two businesses, right? The business you're in and the business you're going to be in.
Yeah.
So the business you're in is the fulfillment side. The business you're going to be in is that vision you're walking to. Because none of us are going to stay where we're at. Like we're all fitness coaches. We have a fitness business, but none of us want to leave the world 30, 40, 50 years from now in the same position we're in today, right? That would not be fruitful. That would not be fitness. To level up the business I'm in, stay focused on how to make it the best it can be, while at the same time understanding how to position myself, how to have conversations, how to put out content that's relevant to where I'm going. There has to be something that connects with my people to pull them forward as well. Oftentimes, and we talked about this in some of our trainings, the people we help oftentimes are the people we were, right before our breakthrough. So if I've just come through a breakthrough, I need to stop and think about, okay, what's my next breakthrough? That's what I'm going to be pushing toward. That's what I'm going to build toward. And a lot of us get hung up in the trap of, oh, well, 5 years ago, I did the thing. I used to be on the cover of magazine or whatever the thing is, right?
I lost 50 pounds doing this.
I lost 100 pounds on the Subway diet with Jared, right? Awesome.
Same thing, right?
We actually go through this with our investors as well. We had a client recently we spoke with. He wants to lose some weight. He wants to get his health under control. He's recently gained, 15, 20 pounds through the pandemic. He's in his 60s now, and awesome guy, but brings out his food sensitivity test from 2.5 years ago. He's like, this is my, my gut health. This is my scores.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, oh, that's cool. Like if we were going to buy a house today, right? We probably wouldn't use a pre-qualified letter from, 2 years ago.
I wouldn't take that if it was 3 months old.
Respect, right?
2.5 years.
And these things change everything changes so fast, right? So being fluid, right? And I love how you say having grace for yourself.
Yeah.
For the business I'm in and the business I will be in.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Which actually brings me to another point, and I'll let you go on this one. As a trainer, how can I build, say, more capacity to feel like I can handle things or work on the things that need to get done?
Yeah,
there's always so much to do, right?
Yeah, 100%.
How do I work on the right things and not get sidetracked or taken off course?
A lot of times it's really easy to be like, oh, let me just concentrate on this and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Right. And then at that point, there's no really organization. You're just kind of going with the flow and you're seeing what a response is. What really, really helps is being able to plan ahead. So for example, as I'm casting out a vision for the year, like, okay, cool. In 4 months at this time, I'm going to release a new ebook. At this time, I'm going to do a challenge. At this time, I'm going to do a seminar. At this time, I'm going to do this. And so it's on your calendar. You're not overwhelmed with figuring out, oh crap, what's the next thing I got to do? What's the next thing? You're going based on a schedule. So everything is really organized. But this stuff really, really matters. Like if you are not doing new things, challenges, you're not giving away free stuff, you're not giving the people what they need. It's really hard to get people to pay big ticket when they feel like you're stagnant.
Yeah.
When they feel like you've been in the same place, and it almost comes across like you're desperate for new people.
Right.
Constantly hitting up those same people that are not interested. And that's something that we see too. Like now it's more desperation. Like people I talked to like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that have told me, no, I'm constantly hitting them up. What you need to do is get in front of a newer audience, right? Because there's a certain point where people get like, they're over it. You lost their attention. And so at this point, it's just like, I need to do something fresh and something new and something to get people excited. People buy when they're excited.
That's right. Yeah.
When they're excited about it and they know you're excited about something and they see that you're putting the time and the effort into doing things, that really, really matters. Or like when you take in the time, like for example, I'm putting a 14-day challenge in with my fitness company. 14-day challenge is going to be speakers. There's going to be all this kind of stuff. That's going to be something that's new compared to other challenges that I've been in or I've done. And so that's something that I'm going to hype everybody up for. And they're going to be like, oh, shoot, 14 days are going to be speakers.
This is good.
It just has to happen because I've noticed like, okay, things have gotten a little stale on that. And so now I got to do something to just get people excited, right?
That's
especially
really
with the season.
Really good. Yeah, exactly.
Especially with the season. You know, summer's coming, winter, all that kind of stuff. You got to keep in mind.
I was just getting ready to say that's a perfect bridge for talking about kind of understanding the season of your business as well. I mean, and literally as we're going into, there's obviously, the new year, people get fit, the summertime, spring break, people want to look good, wintertime is work time, but there's also summer, winter, spring, and fall in your business, right? Yeah. So we talk a lot as business owners about, producing 10K months, 20K months, 100K months, but understand too, it's hardly ever a consistent 10K this month, 10K next month, 10K. It's usually, right, I onboard a project. It's the springtime, everything flowers right before summer, you harvest. I've dropped an offer, all the money's coming in, I've got all the clients, but things have dried up now. It's a winter season. Now it's time to, get the fields ready so in the fall we can start to plant. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a time to sow and a time to harvest. So understanding the season you're in is super critical, and I love that you highlighted that point. When you look up, you're finding this pace in this race. We are pushing for certain results and certain trajectories, but at the end of the day, you are your only competition. Yeah. Right? The marketplace competition, there's other coaches and trainers. Yeah, nobody is you. Your competition is you yesterday. Are you better today than you were yesterday? And if you are, day by day, that's what attracts people. The most unattractive thing is a person who wants something for nothing in any industry. None of us like that feeling. But everybody appreciates a workhorse, an underdog story, someone who gets paid well but works really hard. When it comes to competition, it does one of two things. And I'm talking now, not you competition in the marketplace. It either eliminates you or it makes you stronger. Yeah. You are your own competition day by day in your practice. So are you going to eliminate yourself by these, false narratives, false concepts, these ideas, these what at one point seems like hell? Yeah. Or are you going to let it make you better? Yeah. Are you going to start to map out what this is actually going to look like so I can clear up that mental space so when something breaks, I don't have to let it break me. I can just fix the break at speed, right? And now we can keep moving with momentum. Yeah. So I love those points you made.
And I think that's why it really just makes sense to pay attention to what's going on.
Right. Be present.
Be present. A lot of people, like you're saying, are banking on stuff that they did years ago. It's just like, what do people really enjoy right now? What do people really want right now? What's something that I can do? Am I paying attention to how the culture on social media is changing, how the culture within my demographic when it comes to fitness is changing? Like, how am I staying relevant? Right. And so you need to be an innovator, and see where those opportunities to do new stuff actually are. Yeah. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just make it fun,
That's a huge key. Yeah. I shared this with you once before. When I first moved to San Diego, like my 30th or 31st day in San Diego, we set the world record, 2015, right? If it's 2022 now, if I still went around talking about that 2015 world record, like, oh yeah, I'm the fitness coach, we set a world record. When? 7-8 years ago.
They're like, okay.
What have you done lately, right? We actually faced that exact idea of, well, we just set a world record. We have to do something bigger. Right. What's next? Like, we have to up it. We ended up setting another world record. It just wasn't official because Guinness didn't show up. Right. We pushed for it. We tried to set 3 more. We would get 1. We did all the events, but we had to get back to what is fun. Yeah. Like you and I, we just had an amazing summit with Vince Del Monte, George Jackson, Hakeem White. We had some amazing people. We get to talk about that stuff. Yeah. Now, we've also got way more amazing stuff coming up, which is awesome. Yeah. But that's the point. Is we have new things, new relevant information. Yeah. So if somebody asked you like, oh, you're a coach, can you tell me about your program? It shouldn't be, well, 5 years ago, I started training these guys and they had amazing results, right? If it starts with 5 years ago, it better be, I had an idea, we did this thing, and now, right? Yeah. It has to jump to today.
What's great sometimes too is like you could even test out a new program.
Beautiful.
Build something new, launch it as a beta course.
Absolutely.
Where you're like, hey, this is my original program, but I want a couple people to try this out, see how they feel. And you can introduce that in your challenge, You're just looking for opportunities to get enough eyes.
Yeah.
So that way you can create something that's new. And people always like things that are exciting. If you're thinking of doing something like that, experiment with another program.
Great idea.
Experiment with something new and see how people respond, right? Again, after surveying, after asking the right questions,
Right.
after paying attention to all that stuff.
Coaches, keep moving forward. Remember, your life is not your business. Your business is not your life. But if you do life well and you have a business that empowers you, you can also help other people do life better. Keep crushing it. Keep being who you want to become. And we'll see you guys on the other side.